So what's going on, guys? Riotbox here, and welcome finally back to MotoGP 21. So the summer break is over, and we're going to be getting back into this next season of career mode, where we will be taking the reins of this Factory Ducati, and it's going to be a bit of a beast to tame. Might take us a couple of races to get into the swing of things, but here we are. We are ready with our bike to get racing straight into Qatar. I've done pre-season testing, nothing exciting to see about that, so I thought, you know what, we'll get in with the opening episode at the opening round at Qatar. I've gone for the real GP calendar again, so double header at Qatar, then a few rounds not in it, so Argentina not in it, but yeah, we are Moto3 and Moto2 champions, as you remember from the first two seasons. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. And then this is our fourth season. This time we weren't able to win the MotoGP Championship last season. Of course, it's going to be pretty tricky in your first season GP, but we're on a bike that can probably do that now. So yeah, let's see what we can do with Ducati. We've got 13 wins in our career, 60 races, 23 podiums, 21 poles. So a good little record on the go. But yeah, in terms of development, you know, I've started things off with the frame, the engine and aero. A little bit of work to do on the frame, so I'm going to focus on that a little bit more. But we do have more stuff aimed at the engine, so we will keep that ticking over nicely. So there you go, that's pretty much it. I mean, no exciting stuff like in the F1 career mode where you got rider changes, rider transfers, that sort of thing. So we're just going to get in and try and win the World Championship with Ducati. If we can't do it with Ducati, we'll have to jump ship and see if we can do it. Suzuki, Yamaha, I doubt Honda. We didn't have a good time at Honda. So yeah, Yamaha or Suzuki, maybe even KTM. Who knows? But anyway, got a tough old season ahead. Let's head down to Qatar then for qualifying and then the race. So I've put in a banker lap. Not many people have put in laps at this stage. It wasn't the best lap, but you know, it wasn't the worst. It was a soft front, soft rear tyre, so I'm put on a medium rear tyre now. The soft rear, it sort of dies off halfway around the lap. So yeah, a medium tyre should give us a 2-lap stint, which we're going to go out and do in a couple of minutes time in the session. 2 laps, hopefully we can get in the top 2 and through into Q3. I mean Q2, I'm too used to F1, but yeah, I hope you have been enjoying the F1 career mode. We're going to be running this alongside that career mode, but yeah, let's get out on track. Let's go out, fresh tyres, fresh team. Look how nice our Ducati bike looks. It is a beautiful bike, you can't argue with that. Oh, running it a bit deep into the final corner. We are 1.5 seconds, or were 1.5 seconds underneath from our time, still are, but here we go then. Let's see, this should take us to the top. 53.8. That should be enough to get through into Q2 quite easily by 0.8 tenths of a second. So the Ducati, it works well around here. It does feel a bit more, it's not as good a handling bike. I mean, the Honda, it was a bit yeah, it wasn't very stable. But this, it does feel like a heavier bike almost, a bit more like a boat. But anyway, it's quick. It is a quick bike, so yeah. Let's skip on to the end of the session. I'm not doing another lap, and we should be through to Q2. So here we are, Q2. We're about to go out again, prepare ourselves for a 2-lap stint, but I might not do 2 laps. We'll see. So 54.8, which I think was the time we did in Q2. Oh no, we did a 53.8. So the times are down in qualifying. I don't know why the AI struggles so much in qualifying, but we'll take advantage of it. They'll be a lot quicker in the race, so let's see if we can do a low 54, if not a 53 again. So yeah, let's go out in Q2. So not the best lap. Luckily I've got enough tyre and fuel to go for a second lap, so this isn't going to be anywhere near the top, I don't think. Well, it might be near the top, but oh, it goes top. 54.4. Oh, okay. So not as quick as Q1, but yeah, I seem to gain it back in the 4th sector. 3rd sector really doesn't suit our bike. We lost a lot of time saying that. Zarco, he's on the same bike as us, so. But yeah, let's end off the session. Hopefully that's still pole position. Okay then, it was enough for pole. We're going to be starting from pole position for our opening race of this season. This is good for Ducati. Now it is saying a soft front, but I don't think that's going to work. It's also saying a medium rear, and that's after 1 lap, so I'm kind of tempted to go for a hard rear. But on the Ducati you have to run, well, I find I'm having to run traction control mode 4 rather than 3 like we were on the Honda. The Ducati just has way more horsepower you have to tame, so with that in mind we could probably get away with a medium. So medium front, medium rear, yeah, same brakes as before, and then yeah, full tank of fuel. So let's go racing. Hopefully coming from practice into quali, I was kind of tempted by the hard rear tyre, but I'm going to go medium. We've got 2 rounds here, so we'll learn from this. No one else has gone for a medium rear, which is a bit yeah, it's a bit more reassuring, but there you go. This is the lineup. The 2 Frenchmen line up alongside of us on the front row of the grid. So yeah, let's see what we can do as we return to racing here. I haven't done a race in a long time. It's been about 4 weeks since we had an episode, so about a month. But we're back from our summer break. MotoGP's back as well. It's its opening round, which if I upload this on the 8th of August, it will be the return, which will be the Styrian Grand Prix. So looking forward to that one. Here we go then, lights about to go out. We've got some very quick riders alongside of us, and I just can't get the launch. We ended up moving over to the left. Here comes Zarko at the inside. Oh, bike's heavy with fuel. First time breaking down to turn number 1, we run wide and lose, whoa, a whole heap of positions. We're now down in P6. So we nerf out our teammate a little bit. There goes the tight turn in Suzuki, and also Alicia Spargo on the Aprilia through. Oh, it's good to be back on this game. We've had too much F1 recently. But I tell you what, I'm really enjoying F1 2021. But we're not here to talk about F1, we're here to talk about MotoGP. Especially since it's the first time racing in about a month. So I'm going to try and take the world title if we can with Ducati. And I think we might have another season lined up after this one. We'll have to see how we go. But yeah, that Suzuki looks like a nice bike to ride, and the Yamaha. Let's see, the Aprilia getting underneath of us. Or trying at least. Here he is. Here comes Aleix. And it's just classic AI, isn't it, with Milestone. Slow in quali. In the race they turn up a bit more, so let's turn up the whip into power mode 3. I need to close down this gap to Rins if we can. I need to get back onto them, and we want a podium in our first race, but a mistake at the start, it cost us a whole heap of positions, and it's so hard to make up positions here on this game. This field is so strong, and it is just so hard to make up the positions, but trying to settle down to this race as there's a big crash at the back. Braking down then from just over 200 miles an hour. Very quick, this Ducati in a straight line. The straights are going to be our friends this season, which is a nice thing to say. We're really going to gain in a straight line, so that's good. But through the corners, we've got it. I find I'm having to set the bike up a lot earlier. The Honda, although it was unstable, it was a lot more reactive. This Ducati, you have to line it up early and send it through the corners. Oh, just out wide there. Whoa. And again, it's been about a month since I played this game, so we're going to have to pick up some consistency pretty quick. But what's the gap? 7 tenths to Rins. Got Marc Marquez there in P5. What KTM is that? Is that Oliveira as we make contact with the Pramac? Jorge Martin. We're following at about a second distance. You can see through the second sector and probably the third sector. The third sector really doesn't suit us. That is where we're losing a lot of time. But I think Quartararo, he's under pressure from the KTM though. I presume it's Oliveira. And you can tell we've lost. The gap's just over a second now. It was about 7 tenths. But yeah, the third sector really killing us off. Especially to the Honda. Getting a few frame freezes A few little game freezes from this, which isn't ideal. 54.5, fastest lap of the race. Race leader 53.7. That's quicker than the AI went in qualifying. So yeah, really strange from the AI, but we've closed this gap right down the straight. This Ducati just so quick, but then they stretch out again through the rest of the lap, so it's pretty tough for us. A podium's going to be a big ask, I think, with our current pace, but if we can look after the tyres, which I think we are, I'm not really pushing too hard on the tyres. Obviously I'm pushing them, but I'm not on the absolute limit like we were in qualifying. But maybe if I can start to push, take a bit of life out of the tyres, then maybe we'll just catch up to Rins. Let's see if we can break into the lower 54s on this lap, and then try and get into the 53s. But you can see a little gap forming between Marquez and that KTM. Again, I still don't know which KTM it is. I presume it is Oliveira, but it could be Binder. It could be either one of them, that's the thing. Quartararo there in P3. Frenchman going to be looking for the title this year, of course. So it's essential we get up on that podium a lot this season. Get a few race wins under our belt as well. I've got Aleix Espargaro, the Aprilia, working very well this season. And he is all over the back of us. Be interested to see where he gets as he closes up through this third sector. Third sector doesn't suit us at all, but let's go for a bit of power mode 3 because it is very strong on this bike. Hook it up nicely into the final corner. Carry some decent exit speed. Come on. Bit of a distant toe. 8 tenths back. We're going to close this gap down. Watch this. Look at this. 54.2. And that puts us on the back of Rins. Very nice indeed. See if we can get underneath of him. Yes, come on. It's going to get the inside line, but I'm going to squeeze him to the apex. Yeah, it doesn't quite pay off. Oh, Trash Control Mode 4 really does sacrifice corner exit speed. Oh, the bike getting a little bit unstable there under braking. Now just watch the second half of the lap as Rins will probably extend again. But we'll get him back down the straight. Saying that, we're doing pretty well on this lap. If we can pick off Rins and then Marquez, that will be a nice top 5 finish for us. But we're looking after the tyres, of course. Thinking about the tyres all the time. Aleix, just over half a second back. Oh, the rear kicking out a little bit through there. Right, now watch. As the Suzuki and the Honda ahead will start to stretch out from us, but this grid is so tight. Yeah, the traction control just it limits us around this part of the track, but it's just so much more stable on this Ducati. We might have to try it out throughout the season, just have a play around with it. But yeah, if we can improve the electronics package, that might be the way to go, because there's a lot of power underneath of this Ducati, so it's just about making the most of it. What's the gap now? Climbing to about 7 tenths of a second. Pulling it down to the apex of the final corner. Right then, we're going to be within striking distance come the braking zone. Just going to have to be careful, line ourselves up early. Here comes Rins, we can just fly up the inside. Look at that, through on Alex Rins. Whoa, almost on Marc Marquez. I didn't want to send it up the inside because look, I outbraked myself anyway. Oh, because it's so quick on Rins' throat. Little bit of a battle there with Rins. I didn't expect him to come back at us, but he did just that. I think the AI are probably a tad slow down the straights. I don't know what's wrong with them. Oh, saying that, messed that line up, and that mistake lets Rins through, and now look at the gap between Rins and Marquez. Oh, this isn't good. Let's get back at Rins. It's important we do that. Battling with the Suzuki. Yeah, the traction control is just a killer. Oh, there's no way I could have made that up the inside, and here's the Aprilia. Oh no. Aleix is through. He's always going to take a chance, isn't he? Look, he's on some good pace right now. We've lost a lot of time on this lap. This just hasn't paid off for us at all. So, strong qualifying pace, very strong qualifying pace. Race pace, yeah, we lost a second on this lap. All this battling has cost us about a second. You can tell from the lap time in the top right. And we're going to be approaching the final lap, so it's important I get a lace back. And then, if I can get Rins. But overall, need to work on race pace for the second Qatar round, which will be the next episode. There's a crash. Oh, big crash behind us. Viñales, Morbidelli. That was really, really unfortunate there. But here we go then. A whole lap of extra fuel. Let's unleash some Power Mode 3, some slipstream on a lace. Here we go. A bit unrealistic this. Anyway. Do it on the brakes. Rin's going to have to go the outside, which I thought he was going to try. Right, we're through on Rins. We've got to hold on if we can. Just remember our Ducati through the corners needs some work, but you know, if I can use Marquez as a bit of bait, not bait, a bit of a rabbit just to hunt down. As long as we hit our braking points, hit every apex, then we should be able to keep the Suzuki at bay. But saying that, the Suzuki turns like no other bike, so he could sneak attack us. 53.7 is the fastest lap of the race. 54.1 is our fastest lap, so we're off the pace today. Zarco very, very quick, showing what the Ducati should do. But again, he's ahead of Bagnaia. Bagnaia is doing well. Don't know where Miller is. But anyway, Marquez about a second. Let's use some Power Mode 3 because these guys are going to be quick through here. This is where we lose time. The gap to Marquez has grown 1.3 seconds-ish. The tyres are on their last legs, but the perfect tyre choice, hard rear, we'd have just been sliding around at the rear. And there they are, both behind me, trying to queue up to get past, but they know as soon as I hit the straight, we're gone. Here comes Rins anyway. Gonna have to take a slightly defensive line, which has sent me out wide. And there goes Rins. Oh, come on. Come on, side by side with Rins. Yeah, the Ducati's gonna pull away. And there we go, P6. So we can only build on this. I don't know what I'll do differently for the next race. I can't do anything differently with tyre choice because they were the perfect tyres. Maybe a bit more practice, see if I can get my race pace into the high 53s. And then we can challenge for the podium. That looks to be the race pace. But yeah, solid race from us. Good pace, low 54s. I'll take that. And we could build on this for the rest of the season. Let's see. I think there were some big names crashing out. Valentino Rossi, P12. Viñales, 53.2, did have the fast lap of the race in the end. Must have put that in right at the end. I'm Enea Bastianini. Big names at the back, Paul Espargaro, Viñales, Morbidelli, again 53.2, so they were running quick at the back. Petrucci, the AI are really weird on this game. Milestone really need to fix it for next year's game. But yeah, Jorge Martin not classified. He must have come off and DNF'd or something, but yeah, there's your race results. In the standings then, of course, it's going to be as the race results are. Crucially though, Ducati taking a lot of points away from other constructors with the 1-2 there. But let's see. Well, we lead in the Ducati Lenovo team, the factory Ducati team. But, you know, that's kind of to be expected. We do have three very strong riders. But the Pramac only 5 points behind. So Ducati working well around here. Also the Monster Yamaha and the Suzuki team, not too bad at all. The Red Bull KTM as well, pretty good, but there you go. Pretty good race for us, for Ducati. For me personally, I wanted a top 5 at least, but a podium is what we need really, especially to challenge for the title. But anyway, that has been it for today's episode, the return of MotoGP. We will be back shortly, not a long wait at all. Give it a few days, we'll be back with episode number 2 for the next Qatar round. But yeah, we're going to be sharing F1 and MotoGP career mode on the channel for now, because I'm really enjoying F1 2021 and you guys loving the series too. So if you did enjoy this one, smash the like button, share it around friends, and don't forget to subscribe for plenty more MotoGP career mode.